News. According to my source, NRS will most certainly be using the tournament format to introduce brand new characters into Mortal Kombat 12. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you how this is gonna go. So basically, according to my source, this is how it will happen. What's going to happen is Mortal Kombat 12, as we know, is going to be a game that's based in the past. Once it begins in the past, you will play through various parts of the game. Duh, no brainer. And once you do this, the game is going to end at the beginning of the tournament, which will leave on a cliffhanger for Mortal Kombat 13. But I am told it's a possibility that that tournament will be DLC, meaning that if it ends on a tournament, then they will use DLC almost like an aftermath package where you're able to compete in that tournament, and that will give you the access that you need to the other fighters. This sounds pretty good to me because being able to download the tournament and get in the tournament pack with a whole bunch of new characters in it or some familiar faces, I think that's a fantastic way to go for NRS. Also, before we continue, I just want to let you know this information has not been publicly verified or confirmed by NRS of any of its source, of any of its affiliates and things of that nature. So please take all this information with a mega grain of salt. Now let's get back to it. Introducing new characters is always an interesting thing. Bringing back characters is always an interesting thing too. So this is the part that I'm most excited for, is because I love playing with new characters. I love meeting new characters. Okay, I lied. I don't like new characters like that. When they introduced the Combat Kids, I felt out of touch with Mortal Kombat because I'm like, who the heck is all these new characters and where are my favorites? You know, that really bothered me. But hey, the Combat Kids grew on me. One of my favorite Combat Kids, I will have to say, is I gotta go with Jackie. Even though she's annoying to play with online, I'm feeling Jackie. Cassie really grew on me too. I didn't really get to spend enough time with Takeda or with Kung Jin because I wasn't a big player of Mortal Kombat X. I kind of missed that wave. I played it a few times here and there, and that's about it. You know, Devora, I don't like Devora at all. I think we all can agree on that. So my point for giving you my personal opinion is to just give you a quick review on how well these new characters look. So before we continue with the rest of the video, I want to pass this question out to you guys in the comment section below, just really quick. Who is your favorite new character that was introduced, and how do you feel NRS did with introducing that character? Do you think they dropped the ball? Do you think they did a great job? Let me know. Now, the fact that they're going to be introducing these new characters using the tournament mode, I think it's great because Mortal Kombat is more so less about the tournament. So having other people show up in the tournament and just having people wonder if that's going to be a DLC character or a guest character, not a guest character, but a DLC character based on how their clothing look and stuff like that, I think it's going to be great. You know how we got Shiva as a, we got Shiva as DLC, and that right there alone tells you what they're up to, because remember, we know Shiva from back in the day, the OG fans, but the new fans that just picked up Mortal Kombat 11, who were born, not too long ago, or I should say MK11 is their version of Mortal Kombat Trilogy or Mortal Kombat 2 or something like that. They didn't know who the heck Shiva was, so they got to meet Shiva and then got to play with her later. This is a whole new audience that was introduced to Shiva. So that is the route that they're going to be taking, so they can be able to introduce these characters and see how well people respond to them before putting a lot of money, time, and investment into their movesets. So that's just that. It's much easier for them to do it the way that I'm explaining versus just creating a whole character and putting it out there and nobody really cares about that character at all. So it kind of comes full circle because it's less risky when you introduce a new character and people like the character, say, hey, we want such and such as DLC, and they end up getting that character as DLC. Listening to your fans is what's important. For example, on the video game called WWE, I think it was 2K22, they had this mode. It was like a My Player mode or something like that, or My Rise mode, whatever the heck they call it. And you were able to fight these made up characters, and then they also had a couple of real life characters that were locked directly to that mode. You cannot use them outside of that mode, and the fans were upset about that. So what 2K did was they ended up releasing those characters, you know, they put out a patched up update and made those characters playable and usable throughout the rest of the game, because that's what people demanded. So it's all about paying attention to that quality of life for the gamers, because otherwise the gamers will not support you. They will not give you their money, and they want our money. So it's good that companies are starting to listen. So you're probably wondering, okay, Wave, how does that relate to Mortal Kombat? Well, it relates to Mortal Kombat just by me telling you the fact that they listen to their fans, but usually their hands are tied behind their back. But due to this new merger and the way things are going right now, there's a lot of expendable cash to make all products that has previously shown that it was going to make money to make more money, if that makes sense. Mortal Kombat is considered a very successful video game franchise. Every time one game come out, it's much better than the next one from a financial standpoint, and that's all they really care about, is the financial standpoint and stuff. So it's looking pretty good for us, guys. It's looking really, really good for us as far as being able to get these new characters, because these new characters cost an arm and a leg. They cost a lot of money. Now, real quick, for the sake of the video, a lot of you are probably wondering what happens, what is the process of introducing a new character. So I'm gonna give you a quick rundown. So what they do is they send out a memo to different teams and different studios, or to sometimes people in the office, and they go, we want to create a character. The character needs to be a female. The character needs to look very cool, and the character needs to have like a staff or something. Sometimes they'll put mandatory requirements, and then sometimes they won't. So what'll happen is you'll have about 15 studios that'll send in characters that they created up themselves and be like, hi, this character name is such and such. This character is a Shaolin monk from the 70s, and their power is this, that, or the third. And they'll basically pick whichever one they like, or they'll pick two characters that they like and merge their designs. And also they'll rename the character. So if the character name is Alex or something, they'll rename the character so what best fits the story. That's usually how the characters are made. And also they do take initiative by allowing the creator to come up with powers and backstories and stuff like that or whatever. But 9 times out of 10, NRS just takes the character, changes the backstory, and probably keeps some of the powers if it's a great concept. And when they do such a really good job, companies like NRS will end up hiring those individuals for future projects, or keeping them close to work closely on the designs of the characters. Now that information is according to my source. That's just basically what they do when they bring in new characters. And also this is not just for new characters either, because this is something that they do with current characters. Like for example, raiding. They'll have raiding outsourced to a design artist and see who can come up with the freshest look for raiding, and that's how we end up with multiple designs for current characters and stuff. So that's just basically how it works. So I want to pass this question on to you guys in the comment section below. Did you enjoy that little fun fact behind the scene on how characters are created, new characters, and of course existing characters? Let me know in the comments. Also, I'm gonna ask you this: do you like the fact that these new characters are an open book to create a new future for Mortal Kombat? Or do you like the current characters that they have with the locked and limited stories? I really want to know your opinion on that. So if I'm not mistaken, that's probably 2 or 3 questions I asked you already. Be sure to answer those in the comments below. So again, quick recap, quick summary. The quick summary is this: Mortal Kombat 12 will begin in the 500s. It's gonna start around about that time. We're gonna play through the story mode. Everything's gonna happen, yada yada yada. By the end of that game, there's gonna be a tournament that's either gonna come as DLC, or it's gonna come in Mortal Kombat 13, but more than likely DLC, because who the heck wants to wait for Mortal Kombat 13 when we can get an Aftermath pack and we can get an Aftermath 2 pack? Things of that nature, kind of like what they did with Mortal Kombat 11. Now again, I do want to let you know Mortal Kombat 11 was supposed to be supported for a very, very long time, but we all know what happened and the reason why we weren't able to continue on that. So it made sense to just close off the project and work on the next one, instead of messing up your entire timeline and having people begging you for the next update. You know, they kind of put everything to bed as far as people bugging them about a Combat Pack 3. We all know it's not going to happen based on the statement that was that was given at that time. So again, I'm not going to hold you guys too long. I appreciate you tuning into the video. Man, if you watch this video all the way to the end, go ahead and do me a favor. Stop being a ninja watcher. Smash the subscribe button and turn on post notifications, as this is your brand new favorite and exclusive place for daily Mortal Kombat content. Catch you in the next one.